Holy monkeys. That's one of my favorite things to say, and now it actually means something. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Seppi the Nomad, you're watching Nomad Games, and we are going to be talking about the Nintendo Direct for Donkey Kong Bananza. It was just a standalone Bananza Direct. I will admit that I was kind of hoping for an actual Nintendo Direct to kind of showcase, upcoming holiday games and stuff. We might still get one of those maybe in September. Who knows for sure, but I didn't know what to expect, honestly. I kind of was hoping it was going to be better than the Mario Kart World Direct, where they just showed everything we already knew. And this Direct kind of started off like that, but then it did not end off like that. I think they showed a lot, but I still don't feel like they showed everything, which is a good feeling. Interesting opening with a little song here, and something I don't think I called it officially on the channel. Maybe I did in one video, but I was telling, my buddies behind the scenes and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure that Odd Rock is just going to be Pauline. We knew Pauline was most likely going to be in the game because there was a Korean box art that showed her on DK's back. So we kind of knew that's where she was going to be, and she started from the Donkey Kong series. So it was a little bit obvious, but still fine. And yeah, she is Odd Rock. Pauline is in the game, and she's going to be doing a lot of things. We're just going to be kind of talking about everything they showed off in order here. So no real particular order. So Donkey Kong Bananza looks quirky as ever. This is just something I want to say before we get into the juicy deets. This game looks like it makes no sense, and it's perfect. That's exactly what I want. There's so many things in here that are just like, we're going to talk about. He turns into an ostrich, he turns into a zebra. What the heck is going on? Who knows? But I wouldn't want a Donkey Kong game to take itself too seriously. But it looks like the developers took Donkey Kong and what it means seriously, and what it usually is just wacky nonsense, and it's great. So I'm glad they did that. A little bit of story beats here. Pauline is looking for her way home. Donkey Kong is just looking for bananas and banandium. There are lots of biomes. They showed off a good handful of biomes. I'm pretty sure every one we have already seen in clips from the other trailers. I can't exactly be sure, but I'm seeing some here that maybe look unfamiliar, which is nice. I'm glad there's a lot of biomes. This is just a me thing. Maybe a lot of people feel this way, at least from when Halo Infinite was released. I felt a lot of people were singing the same tune that I was, is like, a game with one biome is just so weird to me. Like, I don't know what it is. It just feels wrong. It feels off. Like, you could be doing so much more. So I'm glad there's plenty of biomes, and they're all underground. They're all sub-level. They did show off a lot of what we knew. They showed off all his mechanics, so he can punch, he can clap, he can surf on the rocks, he can swing them, he can do all this sorts of stuff. He can feet clap, so the internet's gonna go crazy with that one. A little feet action there. You can stick softer materials to soft and harder materials. So like he showed he made this like structure, which I'm sure people will find some fun things to do with that. And yeah, lots of levels and some combos and stuff like that. Pauline's singing can lead the way. It can unlock certain things in the game, like, maybe the ruins or just like certain locked off areas. And it can also, and we're going to jump ahead a little bit here, it can also transform Donkey Kong. So he goes into, what do they call it? Like probably just Bonanza mode or something like that. You'll see it up on the screen here, where he turns into like a more crazy version of himself, and he's bigger and jacked, and he's got thick old cheeks, and he can also turn into a zebra that does different things, and he can turn into an ostrich that can fly, and you can drop egg bombs. And if anything I'm saying right now sounds absolutely bad, well, that's just Donkey Kong for you, and I'm happy that this is what's happening. I am not complaining about the wackiness of what we are seeing. I'm very, very excited about it. It's colorful. That's another thing that I'm really happy about, is it's very colorful. We already kind of knew that, but from what they're showing, they did show a couple things, maybe not entirely new biomes, but they showed maybe a couple like story levels in the supercut at the end, where they just showed some colorful stuff, and I'm happy to see that. Donkey Kong is just vibing. He's just kind of walking around, he's vibing. There are elders in this game. It looks like they like challenge you or something like that. So that's kind of a cool thing to look forward to there. They're the Void Company rivals. So the kind of villains of the game are this Void Company, and they're responsible for like sinking Ingot City and doing all sorts of things that are probably ruining all the Kong's mining and stuff like that. So we get to see a little bit of their individual abilities and some of their like giant statues you can destroy and stuff like that. So that's going to be fun. And I like that. I like that there's a story in this game that's probably not too deep, but maybe there's going to be some emotional moments. I'm happy that they're, they're focusing on a story mode, even if it's, maybe it is going to be super deep. Who knows? It looks like there's going to be some emotional beats in here, but for the most part, it looks like it's going to be a simple story. Maybe the juxtaposition of just Donkey Kong wanting bananas and this company doing something that's going to affect his people will, have a cool dynamic, and, Donkey Kong will mature up or something, who knows. But the story, it's there, and I'm happy it's there. There are cool looking boss fights. So one thing that we didn't see, I don't think we saw in anything, were boss fights. Maybe in some of the trailers they hinted at something like that going on, but now we are for sure getting boss fights, and that looks really fun. Yeah, definitely looks Mario Odyssey coded, and I'm very excited to see what this team can cook up with Donkey Kong, because there's so much. Oh my god, there's so much more. I'm looking at my notes and there's still a ton of stuff. There are sinkholes used for traversal. There's also this like worm thing that comes up and globs you and sucks you down into somewhere else, I guess. A lot of traversal in this game, a lot of like destruction in this game. Obviously we saw tons of that. They showed a cool little time lapse of like destroying an entire section, which was neat. Ancient ruins. So there are going to be ancient ruins similar to like dungeons and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and stuff like that. There's going to be time battles, there's going to be puzzles, there's going to be side-scrolling challenges and things like that. So that's something that I am very happy to see. Very excited for Ancient Ruins. I love side stuff to do, and there will probably be benefits that you get out of it, like how in Breath of the Wild you get the spirit orbs, things like that. There's an in-game currency called Banandium chips where you can trade for something that I'm very excited for. This is a big deal for me, honestly. I can always just enjoy a game, right? I can just sit down and play a game from beginning to end and enjoy it. But when there's customization in the game, when there's some things to work for in a game, that makes me very excited. So there are customizable outfits. You can customize the color of Donkey Kong. I don't know how interested I am in that, but the outfits I'm excited for. You can customize Pauline's outfits and DK's, and they do come with benefits as well. I don't think they went into too much detail on what the benefits are, but customization will yield benefits. So not only is it something that you can just do for the aesthetics of it all and to be playing Donkey Kong the way you want him to be playing, whether he's just naked with a tie, original, or he's got some overalls or some other type of thing. It looks like he had like a beach outfit or something, but they also give you benefits. Another cool thing you can do is you can make kind of like a cool little pad and you can collect music and play the music, and you can like rest and recharge. I don't know if there's going to be any in-game purposes for this. Maybe again, kind of bringing it back to like Breath of the Wild, where like you can rest and get some benefits from like specifically resting at in a bed or a soft bed or something like that. So maybe there's something along the lines of like that, but I'm hoping there's some customization with your pad too, like with your little hangout spot. Photo mode looks good and standard, but good. I mean, it looks like pretty much Mario Kart World's photo mode, and I like Mario Kart World's photo mode. I think it's really fun. I've taken some fun photos, and now we can do that in Donkey Kong, so that's exciting. We knew we could do that already, but they showed it off a little bit more. Oh boy, here's a big one. There is 2-player co-op in this game, and on top of that, it's game share. So if you got a friend who has a Nintendo, which is probably pretty common with how crazy it's selling, one of you can own the game, and both of you can play it. And on top of that, you can game share to people with a Switch 1. Really cool move on Nintendo and Donkey Kong Bananza's part there. That's something that I can't overstate enough, how important it is to be able to play games with your friends. It's really cool. In fact, me and my best friend have been jamming through some Split Fiction, which I'll do a little bit of a review on, and playing tons of Mario Kart. And it's been amazing. It's been some of the best gaming experiences of my life recently. So very, very excited to see that now you can play Donkey Kong Bananza with your friends. Only one of you needs to buy it. Game share is pretty sweet, including to a Nintendo Switch 1. Definitely love that. Definitely good move. Kudos on that one. They also showed off an assist mode. It's pretty much just like making the game a little bit easier. Maybe if you have like a young kid or something, another reason, but just accessibility stuff. And there's also amiibos, and the amiibos give you specific things in game. And then this is something that's really fun. I really enjoy this. They have a mode called DK Artist, which is just outside of the game. And DK Artist is just like a rock forming, molding thing where you can make pieces of art. It's going to be 0.4 seconds before people make and probably post on the internet inappropriate things, but that's just the way the internet works, baby. But still, it's fun. This is like exactly what I would expect in a Donkey Kong game. This is very like N64 feeling. This gives me the vibes of in Mario 64, where you can just like grab his nose and play around with his face. And this is obviously a lot more detailed than that. Like you can actually make quote unquote works of art with it. And feels so N64, and this is exactly what I would want in a Donkey Kong game. Thank you for just like going through that laundry list of everything there was. There was so much stuff they showed off, but I still feel excited and I don't feel spoiled. Like, I don't feel like they spoiled anything for me. I'm just way more excited to play Donkey Kong. This is how you market a game. They show off a game that's like, this is new. What is this? What's going on? And then a little bit of time goes by and you're like, is this all it is? And then you show off that no, that's not even close to what all it is. So very, very happy about that. This was the opposite of the Mario Kart World Direct. Nintendo, keep this kind of thing up. We really need to see more directs like this. But at the same time, I also wouldn't mind this just being in a direct with other things. It's almost weird to know I'm just going into a Donkey Kong Bananza Direct, or to know I'm just going into a Mario Kart World Direct. I would almost like to just be surprised in a direct. That there's something like special about Nintendo Directs. So that's pretty much all I have to say about it. What are your guys' thoughts? Are you going to be customizing Donkey Kong? Are you going to be playing around with this DK artist mode? Are you excited for the game? What is the thing you saw that is the most exciting? And once again, how many more questions can I possibly ask you? To leave comments in the comment section down below. But that's pretty much it from me. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Sayonara.